We're live, Raffy. What do you say? But first of all, we've got to tell people what we're doing. What are we doing today? Start with Sam. Go on then.
I am cooking with my mummy today, and if I'm going to wash your hands, this is what happens when you cook with kids.
This is what happens when you cook with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that mean disaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
disaster, isn't it? We've got some bowls, haven't we?
And this is Mummy's bowl, which she's put here.
Yeah, I've put this bowl here, thank
And
you.
this is the washing hand bowl.
Yeah, that's the washing hand bowl. Don't lift that one up.
And this is a banana.
Well, we're going to go through the ingredients in a moment, but first, before we start, what do we do first before we do the cooking?
Milk.
No, before we do the cooking, what do we do, Raph, with his?
Wash
Your hands. Go on then, so do the song. Loudly. Hooray! So we've washed our hands. Good start. There you go, you can dry them on your apron. So I have to say, today's session, we are going to be making some blueberry muffins. And today, the Cook Along with Charlotte is sponsored by the very, very, very kind guys at Avino Baby. The reason why Avino Baby sponsored this is because they basically came to us and they said, we love the Cook Alongs, we really want to get involved, we want to share with our followers and the people who use our brand. We want to share some fun, exciting ideas around cooking with kids, around activities we can do at home whilst we're all in social isolation. And to be honest, it worked really well for me. I love cooking with oats. Oats is a massive part of Avino Baby's ingredients. It's across all their range, and if you look on my blogs are full of recipes with oats.
Oh, Mummy.
So, yes, darling.
Could I wish put some milk in here?
You can try it, yes, you can try a little bit of the milk. So big, big, big thank you to those guys first and foremost as we're running this. And as I said, today, you've probably seen me banging on about it all week, but today we are going to be making blueberry muffins. I'm super, super, super proud of this recipe. Love it. Because it is delicious, because it's really fun one to make. There's a lot of ingredients involved in it, and loads of you have had questions about the ingredients, and I'm really, really sorry if I haven't been able to get back to all of them. But ultimately...
When you started the cooking along, I'll have some milk.
Okay, when I start it, okay, we'll tell them the ingredients in a minute, won't we, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, with some of the ingredients, you don't need to use all of them. You know, it's a bit bish bash bosh, but also things like vanilla, you're only using a tiny amount. Things like white wine vinegar, you're only using a tiny amount, and this is going out around 12 cupcakes. So it really is quite a small amount. Right, should we go through the ingredients first? Sit down a bit because no one can see you there, you're out of shot. We've got so today we have got, I'm going to go through the ingredients with you. We are using, what's this, Raph?
Flour.
1 mashed banana, okay? We are using 75 mils of, what's this, Raffy?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. What is it?
Oil.
Oil. Good boy. 75 mils of oil.
And look, this is oats.
Oats. Good boy. And we are using,
And this is,
sorry, I'm just trying to get the amounts of the We're using 50 grams of rolled oats.
and this is milk.
This is milk. We're using 100 mils of oat milk. We are using, what else, Raph?
What's that?
That's vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're using 100 grams of plain flour, if I didn't say that already. That is a whisk, yeah, well done. What about this? So we're using half a teaspoon of white wine vinegar.
This is a whisk.
That's a whisk. That's a whisk as well as this, aren't they? Both whisks. This is one for you. This is a perfect child-sized whisk. We're also using baking powder, bicarbonate soda, the zest of 1 lemon, and eventually blueberries, but we don't say that too loud, okay? We have got 2 kind of baking powders. One's baking powder and one's baking soda. They're slightly different, but no one ever knows why. Anyway, shall we get started on the cooking? So we've washed our hands, going to put that bowl to the side, and we're going to get another nice big bowl out here. Sorry, flowers are in the way as well. Going to get a nice big bowl out here to do our cooking with. So first of all, what I want you to do, and again, what you can do getting the kids involved, is we're going to mash up our banana. So ideally, it would be really. I realise I say so all the time, and that's why I think yeah, you can help me mash it, yeah? So when ideally you'd want a really well done banana, so one that's nice and mushy. This one's a bit too ripe, isn't it? Yeah. But we're just going to mash it up even extra. So we get out our banana, and Raffy is going to be my banana masher-upperer. Can you do that for me? So no, you don't mash it with a whisk. You whisk with a whisk. You can mash with a fork. So if you sit down, if I move that in front of you, so you've got a bit more room. Raffy's going to mash up a banana for me, and I am going to weigh out the olive oil. So we need 75 mils of olive oil. I'm going to get my measuring jug and do this. And also, sorry,
you have a measuring jug?
Yes, of course you can, but you've got to mash the banana first. You can't give up on the job halfway through. Also, don't forget to preheat your oven.
I've already mashed the banana.
You've got to mash it a bit more than that. Do you want your fork? Here you go. Try it with that one. Sorry, set the temperature oven to 200 degrees Celsius. So kids, if you're with your adult parents now, please get them to set the oven to 200 degrees Celsius because we need that nice and warm to get those muffins working. That's good mashing, Raph. So mash your banana really well as you can mash it together is ideal. That's good, Raph. Keep going. Got to mash, bish, bash, bosh, bish, bash, bosh. Bish, bash, bosh, bish, bash, bosh. So it doesn't matter when you mix these ingredients together, there's a few lumps. So, oil, we're going to do 75 mils. Let me just check. So I'm just having to skip back and forth through 75 mils of olive oil. That's it, Raph. Thanks so much for your help. Nearly there, nearly there. There we go. Perfect. Now you obviously, we've replaced butter with oil in this recipe to make it vegan, allergy friendly for Allergy Awareness Week. So you're going to give that a stir. Do you want to pour that into the big bowl for me? Now we've weighed that out, pour that into the big bowl. I'm also going to mix vanilla extract and white wine vinegar and the milk. So if we weigh out 100 mils of oat milk, do you want to help me get the milk? We're actually using almond milk today, but ideally we would be using oat milk. Oat milk has just a bit more thickness to it. Oh, but as I said, needs must, and it's all about adapting ingredients. Wait, not quite 100. There we go, perfect. So you pour that in. Thank you, Raffy.
I just want some.
Yeah, you can have some little bit of milk. Thanks for your help. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and half a teaspoon of white wine vinegar. So I've lost my teaspoon measurer. Where's the teaspoon measurer gone, Raffy? It was here. I will go. Oh, it's on the floor. Let me just go and quickly grab the teaspoon measure. Sorry. Whilst Raffy's helping himself to the milk. This is, as Raffy said at the beginning, this is what happens when you're cooking with kids. Do you want to give them a new song, Raff? What song shall we sing today?
Jingle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
Twinkle, twinkle,
little star, how I wonder what you are.
Oh, that was brilliant! Give yourself a clap. So I'm going to add to this oil and milk.
Oh, did I do the milk?
Yeah, you've done the milk. You poured yourself a massive cup. I thought you were going to try a little bit. I'm going to add the half a teaspoon of white wine vinegar. Now, loads of you asked about the white wine vinegar. It just gives the mixture a bit more fluffiness. I don't know why and I don't know how, but it does. The vanilla extract, again, this goes over 12 muffins and it's a tiny, tiny amount. It's not something
a tiny amount?
Yeah, you can help.
I'm helping.
Perfect, thank you. Now carry on mashing that banana, Raff. It's got to be mashed even more than that. Now the vanilla extract is not something I usually use in my cooking, but in something like blueberry muffins, if we're trying to share it for the whole family, giving it a little bit more of that kind of slightly sweet flavour can help. And this is a way of doing it without adding a lot of added sugar, because most recipes for something like a blueberry muffin will have honey or maple syrup or just plain sugar in, which, you know, when you're cooking for babies, it's ideal.
This is what happens when you cook with kids.
This is what happens when you cook with kids. What happens, Raph?
I don't know.
It's a disaster, isn't it? It's a disaster. But it's fun. Do you have fun cooking with Mummy? Yeah? You look forward to the cook-along every week, don't you? Do you?
Well, we're going to do another cook-along.
Well, next week we might do baby scones. You love scones, don't you?
Yeah, we might do scones.
Might do baby scones next week. Right, so this should take about 3 minutes, but obviously it's taken us about 20. So I'm going to scrape the really well mashed up banana in there, so that we've got it all. And now don't worry at all if it's still a bit lumpy, because it's bound to be a bit lumpy, but once it's cooked in the oven it won't be. Okay, you do the whisking then. So we're going to whisk that up so it's really, really nice and whisked together. And then what we're going to do is I pre-washed this lemon, so I would definitely recommend washing the outside of it, because what we're going to be doing is using the zest of this lemon. So you carry on whisking, Raph. What I'm going to do is just grate the whole of this zest into the bowl that Raffy is whisking up, so that we get that nice flavour. Now, a few people said, I haven't got lemons at the moment. You can absolutely add a few drops of lemon juice.
No, I am Raffy because I've taken my Bob outfit off.
You've taken Bob outfit off, yeah. We've had multiple fancy dress outfits this week and last week and the week before, haven't we? What have you been dressing up as? Can you tell everyone? Zog and?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and?
Pirate
and? Bob. And who were you at the beginning of the week? Who does the workout? Who did you do the workouts with? Joe Wicks. There's been a lot of multiple personalities coming out of Raffy recently. Who's your favourite person to be? Who do you like?
What are you doing?
So, mind your fingers, I'm grating. This is a bit dangerous, this is why I'm doing this one. And yeah, if you've got young toddlers, you can get toddler-friendly graters, but if you've got young toddlers at home, I would definitely say get your adult to do this, because you don't want to be grating toddlers' fingers into this mixture, do we? No? Right, you're going to carry on whisking for me, Raph? Or you're going to help yourself to more milk? I mean, the boy is obsessed with milk. That's enough. Okay. So, Raph, tell me who's your favourite person to dress up as in fancy dress? Who do you... Pirate. Is that your favourite fancy dress outfit? Pirate. Yeah? Anyone else's kids at home just loving... Oh, God. There goes the milk. Being multiple personalities. Anyway, once we have grated all of that, I would definitely say give it a good scrape down on the inside, so that you've got a lot going in. We're going to mix it in. Raffy, you going to help me mix this?
Where's your bowl gone?
What bowl? Oh, don't worry, Raffy. Come back up here.
It's broken into pieces.
It hasn't broken into pieces. You just dropped this, look. I'll pick it up. So, Raph, I need you to give this a good stir. I've just grated the lemon in. Can you stir the lemon in there for me, rather than eating food? I don't think you could ever be a chef. I'm pretty sure Jamie Oliver wouldn't eat all the food he has as he goes along. Can you give that a stir for me in there? So, what we are going to do next is, so grated in the lemon, which is brilliant. We're going to add the oats. Now, I've still got some oats here because we are going to add oats to the... Yes, you can. So loud. We are going to add oats to the top as well. So we're going to pour the oats in now. Add the oats. We also...
Can we do it with our fingers?
Not yet, because that will be very, very sloppy. We've got to weigh out sorry, that's 50 grams of oats, if anyone didn't get that. We're also going to add, I think it's, let me just double check the amount. Where is it? Flour, where's my flour? 100 grams of plain flour. Good boy, that's good stirring.
Do I do 100 grams of
Yeah, do you want to help me weigh the flour out? So I'm going to weigh out 100 grams of plain flour. Now, lots of you asked about whether you could use self-raising. I don't think it is like for like, so you might get lots of textural differences when using this. That's it, Raph, thank you. Hold on, I've got to clear this because I can't see. Hold on a minute, wait, we've got to do 50 more grams. Can you help me squeeze? Help me squeeze. Whoa, we've gone way over. Don't put that all in yet, hold on. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure you will be able to... Hold on a minute, Raph, I need to take some of it out. You'll be able to, switch it. It might not be quite the same texture, but, I'm not 100% sure how it would work, but go for it, that's what I would say. So what are we doing now? We're adding the flour, that's it, good boy. Add the flour in for me, and then can you give that a really, really, really good stir? Or what we're going to do now is fold it into the mixture. So we're going to fold the mixture together. So this is the oats, the flour. We're also going to add the baking powder and the bicarbonate of soda now. And that's just half a teaspoon of each of those. If I can get the lid off. Here we go. I've lost my tea towel somewhere along the line, so I'm having to use your apron. So we've got half a teaspoon of that. That's it, you do it then. You need to get it right down the bottom there, nearly empty. Half a teaspoon bicarb and half a teaspoon of baking powder. I'll do the same with this one. Do half a teaspoon of that for me. There we go. Good boy. Oh, that's quite a hefty half. There we go. You've got to scrape it off and tip that in. Perfect. Thank you, Raffy. And now you've got to really fold this into the mixture. So when we say folding, we simply mean just gently mixing the ingredients with a big spoon like this, folding it all around together. In a figure of 8 you can do it as well. So we're mixing all of this in together so it's all really, really well mixed. So we've basically added all of our ingredients. Can you have the other? Well, you don't really whisk this one, Raff, but I don't know what you've done with your whisk. It's there. There's a big whisk. And I'm going to now get the last ingredient, okay? The last ingredient that we're going to add to this is blueberries. Do you like blueberries, Raffy? Yeah? Okay. Oh, there's lots of banging. To be honest, I think we've got away with the ingredients in this one actually going into the mix. You would like some blueberries? You're going to ask nicely for them? Good boy. Okay, so what we've got here is blueberries. So we're going to weigh out around 150 grams of blueberries. Let me just give them a quick wash. Raph, while I'm giving them a wash, do you want to sing one of your songs? What have you been singing the Spider-Man song recently, haven't you? Yeah. How does that go? Spider-Man. Right. So we're now. Look. What is it? Oh, well, you're not meant to whisk it. You're meant to fold it. That's the whole problem. So we'll all stick that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to weigh out 150 grams of blueberries, which is quite a lot. But the fruit in this is what is going to add a lot of the texture. Oh, hold on. Wait. I need to just put this on. It's what's going to add a lot of the texture. It's what's going to add a lot of the. It's always going to add a lot of the sweetness as well because there isn't any sugar in it. So the blueberries that we're adding to this, is that nice? The blueberries that we're adding to this really do matter. So that's why there's quite a lot of fruit in this. Also, the fruit isn't completely broken down when we put them into this recipe, but it will be nice and squidgy. So you'll still be getting some of the fibre in there. There we go. That's 150 grams. So, still be getting a lot of the fibre in there, a lot of the nutrients. It's not completely broken down. It's not a complete puree. You've got, skin and texture and everything in there, but it still just adds that sweetness. It also makes this recipe really, really, really nice and moist. So we're going to add the blueberries now into here, and then I'm going to finish stirring it all together. Go on then. No, in there. You do love blueberries. Now these blueberries, I just have to say, are super, super soft. They've been in the fridge for days, so they squidge really easily. I normally would say for younger children to definitely chop up blueberries, especially for babies, so before they've got teeth and before they've got the ability to do lots and lots of chewing. Yeah, look, you've caught them. You've caught them in your whisk. Right, so we're going to give this one final really, really, really good mix through.
Why have I caught them in my whisk?
Look, you've caught them in your whisk. So I wouldn't normally do this with a whisk. A big giant spoon is probably best. But we're going to mix all those together. So you carry on mixing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get a baking tray like this, and you can just grease the tray if you want to, but obviously lining it with little baking cases is great. I've been banging on about these because I blooming love these silicone ones. They're so easy to get them out. You don't have to tear them off. They're reusable. Yeah, you've caught some more. You can pop them in the dishwasher. So we're going to use these and we're going to fill them up. Normally this recipe makes about 12 muffins. So you need.
Can I do it into a bowl?
You want to make it well. What we're going to do now, Raph, is I'm going to get you a big spoon and we're going to dollop these. They're going to dollop this in. Raph, now that's shared milk for the whole family, isn't it? Not just for your grubby little mitts. So what we're going to do is we're going to stir this all up and we're going to just put them into our little cake cases. And once we've done that, once they're in there, we're going to then add it to the oven and cook for around about 20 minutes. They should be risen quite well when you've done that, so they should be nice and risen and textured.
Can I put them into a case.
Okay, let's put them into a case. So we're gonna add these. It doesn't matter how big or small. You can make super big muffins. You can make little mini muffins, depending on who you're. Okay, go on then, you do it. Go on then, you do it. So we're doing it at the moment with a half a teaspoon measuring spoon, but obviously just do it as you would. And just Blue Peter style, this is one that we made earlier. So this is the kind of thing you want it to look like at the end. Now the other tip, and I love doing this, is adding, again, oats, absolute favourite of mine, obviously an absolute favourite of Avino's.
Like this.
We're going to just, once you've made your oats, to make them look really beautiful and like that kind of restaurant or cafe material, just sprinkle some of those oats on the top of each one. And then when you bring them out the oven, those nice toasted oats will be what you see on the top. And that's why I try and use rolled oats in this recipe, because they just look so good and they look so professional when they're done. So, as I said, keep going, put them in all of these, pop them in the oven. They go in the oven for about 20 minutes. Do keep an eye on them. And just make sure that they're not burning, but once they come out.
Where did you put all of the oats?
The oats? Oh, we put the oats in there, Raffy. They're all in the mixture. And now, oh gosh, you drank a lot of that milk. And now we're putting them in here so that we can then make them into blueberry muffins. Is that okay? Thank you so much. You're such a good little chef, bar the food eating. And yeah, as I said, they are brilliant. We gave them to Raffy for breakfast the other day. They don't contain added sugar, there's no salt. They've got a couple of portions of fruit in the whole mixture. And they're really, really good if you're adding them with some yogurt or something to go along. So, thank you so much for joining. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's always chaotic. But no, Raff, try and put them in the ones that have got cases rather than the ones that haven't got cases.
I do want to put them in the one that haven't.
Yeah, but they won't come out of that. They'll get stuck because we haven't greased it. They'll get stuck in that one. Yeah, so thank you so much. I hope that was fine and fun and that you enjoyed it. Again, thank you so much to Avino for sponsoring. Thank you to Raffy, who is no longer really a sous chef. He is the chef, aren't you? Are you the #1 chef? Yeah?
Let's put it in the oven now.
Okay, we'll put it in the oven like this. Like this, nearly done. And yeah, as I say, you get something like this out at the end. So thank you so much. Next week we're going to do another one. I'm hoping we're going to do baby scones next week. Thank you so much for joining. Raffy, what are you going to say to everyone? Are you going to do a final song, or are you going to do a final message to the people that are watching? What's your message?
So, I'm going to cook with Mummy today.
Yeah.
Like Easter biscuits.
Easter biscuits? Yeah, that's what we did before, didn't we? You want to look at the camera and give them a final message. What's your message to the people?
We're going to do cooking with me today.
Yeah?
I'm going to make blueberry scones with me today.
Blueberry scones, they sound delicious. What ingredients do you have?
Oh, I've got some extra milk.
Some actual milk.
No, extra milk.
Action milk.
Extra milk.
Extra milk. Okay, got you. Sorry.
Here's my extra milk.
There's your extra milk. What else have we got?
Got some. I need to put a whisk here.
You're going to put the whisk there, yeah?
We've got a spoon.
Got a spoon. Yeah?
And got a cup.
Got a cup.
We can pour the milk into.
Come over here, because you're out of shot. You're out of shot.
And we can do.
Yeah?
I don't need this.
You don't need the
I
oats.
don't need some corn. I don't need the oats. I do need some oats and cauliflower.
So he can just run it. I don't even need to be here, to be honest. So?
We need some oats first.
Okay. Right, Raffy, we're going to do that next time. So can you say goodbye to everybody on there? Say, hope you're all doing well.
We're all doing well.
And say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.
See you next week.
You're going to look?
Bye-bye. See you next week.
And what about a little song while Mummy goes to turn it off? One last final song.
And twinkle on the way to be there. Oh no, here comes the engine. Piggy beware. Hey, said the driver, get off the track. Piggy ran away and he never came back.
Woo! Thank you. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.